Yes, brother, this is Shay. Today we are talking about the thought, it must be perfect. Everything must be perfect. So if you're experiencing erection problems or sexual performance anxiety, and you have this feeling in the moment of intimacy that everything has to be just right, and if there's any slight inconvenience, then the whole thing is just gone, I lose the erection, then this video is for you. Okay, I'll be talking about why that happens and how it shows up, and most importantly, what to do about it to be able to stop this. So let's start off with how this shows up. Let's say you're having a moment of intimacy and things are heating up, and you feel in your mind that everything has to just be in this exact way. And any small thing can just then open up room for these intrusive thoughts to start coming in, right? To lose the presence of that moment. So what do I mean by any slight inconvenience? The phone going off, whether it's a phone call or a text message sound, or even a vibration sound. Having to reach for the condom. Even this sometimes can cause this break in between. Or let's say we hear something outside, or if someone else is in the building or the house, these sounds. And it's not only just in the moment of intimacy, it can even be in the lead up to that. So getting ready a few hours beforehand, perhaps you know that something's going to happen and you feel in your mind like everything has to be just perfect. So this is how it shows up. Let's talk about why does that happen, and it's important to understand why this happens to just get the reality of what's going on here, rather than staying in this mindset of like it has to be exactly this way. Because the reality is nothing is perfect. There's no such thing, right? Perfect doesn't exist. It's this non-existent thing that we chase. And can you imagine what it would be like for a moment if that is how you had to spend the rest of your life when having sex? It's just not enjoyable, right? Because first of all, we think it has to be this way, everything has to be perfect for me to enjoy this, for this to work. But secondly, what we're actually thinking is our focus is on everything must be perfect and I just need to get this over and done with. So actually, by thinking that way and trying to make everything perfect, we're making ourselves not present in the moment anyway. So we may as well learn something new to be able to be present, more present in the moment. So why does this happen? Okay, so I just want you to realize this is not about you needing everything to be perfect for it to go smoothly. This is actually about control. This is about needing control. And what do I mean by that? I'm not talking about being a control freak. I'm talking about because erection problems or sexual anxiety are really challenging to experience, we feel totally out of control, especially in moments of intimacy. We feel totally out of control because what if this thing happens? What if I lose the erection? What if they then compare me to their ex? What if the relationship ends because of this? What if I can't stay hard? All of these what if questions put us into this feeling of spiral of out of control. And what do we do as a human being? We avoid going into those scenarios. So by putting this fixation on everything needing to be perfect, that is our attempt at really trying to hang on to control. And so this is a natural thing to happen. And I just want to honor that happening, when you notice that you're having these thoughts of hanging on and everything needing to be perfect, is beginning to see that this is about this real desperate sense for I need control in this moment because I don't want to face the fear of the alternative. So just take a moment to think about what that means for you and if that resonates with you. And here is what I would like to offer you next to be able to start shifting out of this everything must be perfect mindset, because it never is, and that only leads to more and more intense focus and things going wrong and feeling guilt and shame at ourselves. So I'd like to offer you something different to that, and that is a guide that I've recently put together that's called the Number One Mistake Guide. This will show you the number one mistake that guys make that causes a permanent erection problem. Why am I offering this guide? Well, first of all, this thought on fixating on everything being perfect, that's not going to go away until this is sorted. Okay, those thoughts are not going to change until the erection challenges are sorted, until the performance anxiety is sorted. So you may as well start on this journey, which you may have already been on for some time, but start getting some real tools and tips that work to get this fixed so that you can avoid a permanent erection problem. So what I'd like you to do next, here's step 1. Below in the comments, I've put the link to the number 1 mistake guide. So step 1 is to head below into the comments and click that link. Step 2, that will take you straight to the page where you can get access to the guide. So that's step 2, get access to the guide. And then step 3 is to read the guide. Read the guide, take on the number 1 mistake, because when we take it seriously, it will give you a new set of information and new tools to be able to try out so that you can avoid this feeling of everything having to be perfect, and you can start being present again with your partner and building the bond and connection that you deserve to, and having the type of sex that you deserve to. Okay, so it's time to go and do this, and how you will know this is working is when you're reading that number 1 mistake guide, that it just resonates with you. You have this feeling of, yes, this is exactly what's going on for me and this makes sense to me. That's how you know it's working. So head below now and click on the link in the comments, number 1 mistake guide.